Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting to my left. And yes, it is Halloween.
Huh?
I got my best pirate hat on.
Upside down small.
Yeah, it's a Joker face.
Sweet.
So you were killing me with that phone. So
Long blood.
yeah, definitely long blood if you're watching MLW because it was horrible. But
Sorry.
yeah, this is the next episode of Ego on Break. It's the week after Thanksgiving, and yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about what we watched and just see where the conversation goes. So sit back, hang on, and enjoy the ride. Yeah. So I watched MLW, or the Thanksgiving special. I have to say that if I was giving it a thumbs up, I'd have to turn that thumb all the way to right in that area somewhere, because it was not a good episode, or at least in my opinion, it was not a good episode.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row that was bad. It had some things that were okay, but they were so minute that it wasn't good. So we open it up, we get the elimination tag rules.
Yeah, that threw me off.
Yeah, basically it was like Survivor
Series, but with 4 people.
Yeah, with just a tag team.
Yeah.
So we got to see Injustice, or two members of Injustice.
Yeah, it was
Jordan Oliver and Kota Brazil taking on Gringo Loco and Zenshi.
Zenshi, yeah. Zenshi's the most impressive one out of this whole match.
I agree. I agree, and he was the first one eliminated, which makes a lot of sense. So for me, that was horrible. He did some really good stuff.
Yes.
Kota did a 450 knee drop, and I've had that happen to me before. You're killing me with that phone.
Jesus.
450 knee drop, and I've had that happen to me before, and it really does suck. 450 hurt, but the 450 knee drop is killer.
Yeah, because he didn't rotate good enough.
And I thought it was funny, like in the opening promo or whatever, Kota was saying, and why y'all like Thanksgiving, the white man's just come and take y'all stuff, and then Jordan Oliver takes the microphone. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it even happens in Injustice, you know. So
at least he wasn't just standing in the back going, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hate that the white man comes and takes, Jordan Oliver stuff, but that's probably his daddy. So,
I don't know.
I don't get the whole like we hate white people and you're the white people. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But hey, whatever. I like those guys. They're working hard, so do the best you can with what you got.
Like Mickey Mouse though with a ponytail.
Yeah, somebody said Kota Brazil must have been watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse when he came over there in the comments. So.
I'm like, at first I'm like, why does he look like Mickey Mouse? And then realized that his hair was in little puffball things.
Got the little ears on the side.
Yes.
So,
and I like Kota, but
I do too.
That hair just, whoo boy. He stood out. I give him that.
Yeah. I mean, make yourself different, I guess. So.
And then you had King Mo versus Ricky Martinez.
And poor Ricky Martinez.
This guy.
I like this dude, but he might as well change his name to Barry Horowitz.
Buried in backyard because his career is getting buried.
I mean, come on, pat yourself on the back. Oh, it's so bad. Like, poor Ricky, man. Like, King Mo is trash. If you didn't notice it from his run in TNA.
His promo was pretty freaking horrible, too.
He's so bad. And, like, he did the look cool, like, the what is the pump handle power bomb or whatever he ended it with.
He did, like, 3 moves.
And he was trying to like get his feet on for the pin, but he couldn't get his feet on his shoulders. So he's just like, I'll just hold his leg. And he just tapped out. Like, he didn't do nothing. He did a really nice stinger splash in the corner. That was about the best I could say for that.
Yeah,
so,
the spear was pretty bad.
Oh, he looked so horrible. And poor Ricky. Like, Ricky looks like $1 million, and they treat him like $1.50. So it's pretty bad, man. Like, I was hoping when, like he got kicked out of the Selena's thing or whatever, like, maybe get him a little run or something. Nope, still jobbing him. So poor Ricky.
He's one of those guys I really wish would go to AEW or somewhere and get his foot going again.
Dude, you should go anywhere.
He's really a good worker.
He's a great worker, man. Like, I mean, I get it, he's a little on the short side, but the dude's got a great look. You know, I mean, he's not horrible on the microphone. He's not the best, but he doesn't get a lot of time to talk. But God, man, like they just destroy him every chance.
I don't get it because I like Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew. I mean, you knew automatically who was winning this match. You didn't, you were stupid.
Right. Because Ricky was, he knew he wasn't gonna win. Don't matter who else it was. But we get the Amancer promo. He's at home eating Thanksgiving with Moon Man, and I'm thinking the next match they're gonna have is an eye for an eye match. Because that's what he said about 27 times.
Yes, he did. He repeated that too much.
So I'm pretty sure that's what they're building up to, an eye for an eye match.
Eye for an eye. Eye for an eye. That way Ricky ain't the only one with a patch.
Yeah. Or Coda. But didn't Coda have a patch at one time?
Coda had a patch too.
But yeah, so got that. We got Casey Lennox looking for
I don't remember her damn name.
Yeah.
Portia.
No,
not Portia.
Anyway, the blonde
Priscilla
Kelly, yeah, looking for her. She's hiding out in a broom closet and attacks Casey Lennox. And the first few seconds of the attack looked really good, but the more she attacked, the worse it got to looking. And
if it took you that long to beat up an announcer,
it was pretty bad. The mandible claw was not the move she needs to go for because I don't know, it just looks like crap when she's doing it.
Yeah, it looked like a bad. Yeah, I'll leave that opinion to myself.
You do that. So it was pretty rough. And then we get the main event, which you know, could have been okay.
Did you see the ending coming? Because they did a promo in the back to me that gave away the ending.
What was that?
It was just, he goes, you know, I brought you guys in here to watch my back, and after I lost my championship, and I'm like, yep, he's gonna turn on his ass.
Well, this is what didn't make a lot of sense to me. But it was. Marshall was hurt, so Ross took his place. Yep. The announcer's like, his dad and brother at home, they didn't care to come watch him, but they're supporting him by watching him on the internet. So I knew he was going to lose. Didn't really know how, but I knew he was going to lose.
I swear.
And then for some apparent reason, Fatu is kicking Ross's butt and then just decides, I'll go over here and beat the referee up, only to go for a pin 2 moves later. And going, where the referee at? Well, you just beat him up for him letting you win. I don't understand the logic behind that.
Well, the first referee bump looked like ass, so I think he got mad at the ref and then decided, okay, let me show you how to bump a referee.
Yeah, so he goes and beats him up and then goes for a pin, which makes him looks like a genius.
Yep.
So that was pretty horrible. And then
well, the one announcer said, well, he probably figured by now they'd have another ref out here.
Yeah.
And they never did that because that ref would just went back up from that ass whooping.
Yeah. And then so Lawler gets in, and this is the part that don't make sense to me. If you're going to turn on them, why wouldn't you help him win the title so you can fight him and get the title? Not great logic in dirty, filthy Tom Lawler's mind,
his version was F you and then F them too. He didn't like anybody.
Yeah, but Jacob Fatu is the one that beat him for the belt. So, I mean, like, you know you can't beat him because he's beat you. So, I mean, like, I guess if you're going to turn heel, you want to have the good fight and beat the big bad guy, you know, because, you know, heel turns where you're the baby face is always what's great in wrestling. Which brings me into a whole nother tangent I'm going to go off on in a minute. But, yeah, none of that crap made any sense.
My fault.
And then the ref that got beat up, which should have DQ'd him, and he could have.
Yep.
But no, I'm going to count the 3 because
you had to have the chair shot.
Yeah, so it was crap all the way around. I mean, they could have had him DQ him, and everything would have been exactly what they had. But instead, no, he's got to pin him. So. Yeah, I don't know. Bad job, MLW. Like, don't know what the crap you're doing, and it shows.
I don't know who booked his last 2 shows.
Oh, it was horrible.
Been bad.
It was horrible.
And but I like MLW. Again, I hate to say this over and over. I hate giving them bad reviews. But I mean, if you do it, somebody's got to.
I mean, we're gonna put it over, and we're gonna put it under. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that what just starts to drive me crazy in wrestling the last, I don't know, month or so, and I know it's been going on for longer, but I guess it's just really become like apparent, is the fact that there's no bad guys. If you're a bad guy, the ring announcers have to put you over as a babyface. Where's the freaking commentators going, I hate that dude? Like, no, well, you know, he's a sack of shit, but he's a really nice guy sometimes. Like, no, like.
I know in AEW, I've heard the logic is there are no heels.
Yeah, and that's
like,
that's
why?
becoming the fad in AEW. It's becoming the fad in NWA, in freaking Impact. I mean, is there no bad guys?
When I'm a bad guy,
I mean, you know
why
why MJF is over? Is because he's a bad guy. Even though the fans are cheering him, he doesn't come out and go, "Oh, hey guys," and hugs them. No, he slaps their freaking hat off their head.
I was at Instagram last night looking at him on his page. He had a list of wrestlers I won't wrestle in AEW. Cody Rhodes, and it was checked off.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just
basically he'll wrestle anybody but Cody Rhodes.
Please get back to being good and bad. I get every good guy can have a bad day, and every bad guy can have a good day, or whatever the logic is behind it. But your heel turns mean nothing when they're going into I want my belt back from the bad guy.
Do you think it's because they want some merch?
No, I think it's for the fact that they want to get away from good and bad, and it's just everybody versus everybody. And that way, it doesn't matter what you do, you have nothing stopping you.
You could have matches with heels and faces and faces. They did it for years. They were still heels and they were still faces, though.
Yeah, but now
they
you
were
can't
even
do that.
tweeners.
Now you got to have everybody's a tweener. Nobody's a good guy. Nobody's a bad guy. You know, if I turn heel, I still get cheered because I'm fighting bad guys. If I turn face and I'm getting booed because I'm fighting a face that's bigger than me, like, or I'm cheating to win or something, like, come on, man. Like, get back to simple, you know, keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean?
This. If you right now, I would say Nightmare is definitely probably one of the most heelest guys you got.
Right.
Along with Jim Sterling and his crew.
Right.
So none of those are tweeners at all.
No.
And I don't think any of them would say they're tweeners.
No.
So,
but
I
also
want to
have my commentators go, you know, that Nightmare, he sure is scary when he's got that mask on, but when he takes that mask off, he volunteers at the YMCA, he's feeding the homeless people. Y'all should really look up to a guy like Nightmare.
No, I've never seen Nightmare pull any of that crap. Anywhere he goes, he's a bad guy.
You know,
much.
And, you know, like Ray Fury's one of our good guys. You know, you don't hear the announcers going, you know what, Ray Fury wouldn't give candy to them kids, but we sure do like him. Like, they're not trying to make you hate him, and that's what drives me nuts is the announcers, the commentators, whatever, they will not talk bad. If they talk bad, they come back and give him two things that was great about him. You know, well, he killed them people, but you know what he did? He recycled the freaking weapon. That's what he done. He's a recycler.
And like Jim, he has his own fan base from Jimquisitions. But when Jim's a heel, Jim's a heel.
Yeah.
And if you want to cheer Jim, we have no problem with you cheering Jim. That's fine. But Jim's a bad guy.
Right. He's not going to come out and be the good guy. You know, like, no, he's the bad guy. And if it is a bad guy versus a bad guy, they're both going to be bad guys.
One of them's got to be better than the other one.
You know, we're not going to have our commentators go, well, you know, we really don't like Jim Sterling, but, you know, we hate the Nightmare worse. So, Jim, go, Jim, go. Jim's a great guy. Y'all should support him.
I'd just be like, I hope they beat the hell out of each other.
I'm like, it just makes no sense. I mean, and, like, I like, you know, Jim, and like, he's evolved his character to be more of himself.
Yeah. Yes,
you know,
very much so.
Because, you know, he started as a parody of Stardust, you know, and with the whole Stardust and thing like that, and he becomes Sterling, which is...
And then he wrapped his face.
Yeah, you know.
He's been through a few changes.
Right, but he's always been a bad guy.
Yeah, always.
You know, are you going to laugh at him? Probably. Are you going to be entertained by him? Probably. Are you going to hate him? We hope. You know, but we're not going to go out there and say, you know, oh, go cheer Jim. He's a real good guy when he ain't out here telling you to shut up.
I think Jim's kind of like, to me, he's like a Piper. He's one of those guys you're supposed to love to hate.
Right.
You know, you got to hate somebody. If you don't, you're just crazy.
Not in this wrestling
When
world.
I was a bad guy, when I was wearing my mask and carrying the duck, I literally had a woman that she couldn't look beyond the mask. I literally have the duck under my arm. She goes, I hate that damn Logan Creed. And I'm sitting there like, you really don't know you're talking to me right now, do you? But I'm just like, you know, they didn't see beyond the mask.
Yes. And I think what it is we've got to a world where we're afraid that if we do something that's going to offend somebody, so we don't want to offend nobody. So by offending nobody, you offend everybody.
How about we just offend them all?
I'm like, good gracious, man. Like, please just...
I don't want Twitter booking my wrestling show.
I just want somebody to be a bad guy, man.
Yeah, well.
And I mean, that's why MJF is working, because he's a bad guy. And he knows that you're liking him. He knows that you're buying his shirts. He knows that you're, you know, following him on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. But the thing is, he's still a bad guy.
Him and Holiday and Hammerstone.
Oh, they're so great.
They are the bad guys.
We did get the unveiling of Hammerstone's present.
I didn't understand what he said his name was. Did you?
I think it's like Grogan or Gorgon or something like that.
I missed it.
No more two Logan Creeds in the South.
Yeah, there's another one though.
Well,
I was the first, honestly. But anyway.
But we get a new name for tall Logan Creed, as we like to call him. And I think it's going to be Grogan or Gorgon or something like that.
I really didn't hear it. He said it one time, and it was so quick, I missed it.
And man, like, I don't know how they filmed it or how they shot it.
Like
or if Logan Creed is really 19 feet tall.
No, I stood right next to him, but he's a good bit bigger now.
Holy moly, he looked huge in that video.
He goes, "That's a huge man." I loved Holiday. Well, I was like, Holiday's a great guy.
I like Holiday. I like the whole
Hammerstone's
dynasty,
great. I mean,
they're adding, Logan, Grogan, Creed to the mix is only going to make that stable better. And I just can't wait to see what happens next. So.
I think the battle royals this week, maybe.
Yeah, they
but
said
I'm not positive.
They entered him into the battle royal coming up or whatever.
I think tonight or tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, it comes on. Well, it may come on tonight. I normally watch it like Tuesday morning. So, but I think they release it Tuesday morning.
But yeah, we're doing it a little bit early this week. But hey,
so kudos to Grogan Creed. Or Gorgon Creed, or a huge man.
I did want to tell you about. I watched Ring of Honor.
Okay.
I don't really remember any much, but the end, the main events, because the way they're doing this on Fight TV now is more or less clips. So the main match that I saw was a 6-man tag, and the 6-man tag was for the titles, and they were substituting Dan Moff come back, and he's one of the founding fathers of ROH, and man, he's put on some muscle. He's still got a little belly on him, but I mean, for an older dude, he's jacked. But it was him, PCO, and Umbrella.
The villain?
Yeah, the villain, Marty Scurll. Against, and the fans got to choose the team. And I thought this was really cool. I guess it was a voting process. So it was Colt Cabana. What was his damn name? The one that's kind of like the one we had work here that it does all the damn suplexes. It's not Michael
Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb, thank you. And Cheeseburger.
Interesting trio for sure.
Take a wild guess who got pinned.
Cheeseburger.
There you go.
And rightfully so.
And it wasn't Cheeseburger in Paradise, so he got smushed.
So was Ring of Honor good?
Yes, I enjoyed everything I saw. I'm trying to build up and watch it more. I just haven't really had time.
Yeah.
I've had a lot going on, so.
Right. So I watched a mini documentary called Behind the Merch, and it's on the Pro Wrestling Tees store.
Okay.
The guy that runs that, I mean, he could be John Davis's kinfolk. I mean, like, I was like, wow, this dude looks a lot like John Davis, which is pretty funny. But it's really good. It kind of tells, how Pro Wrestling Tees got started. Like Colt Cabana pretty much was the driving force behind it. And then with the Young Bucks and, SoCal Uncensored and those guys and AEW and Elite and just how it grew. And they showed, like, a step-by-step process of how the shirts were made and all the people you would come in contact with. And it was really cool. And the one thing that tickled me was the guy that owns it, he was telling a story about how Colt Cabana brought in CM Punk and said, hey, he needs a shirt for TV. This could probably help you out, saying you supplied the shirt. Get a lot of buzz through that, because it was like when Punk came out, it was like, I broke Big Show's hand or something. And so he tells that story, and then Colt's basically telling, Colt says, I had a friend once. So I thought it was... So he was like, he got that little jab being like, wow. I had a friend, but I don't know more kind of thing.
Yeah, there's been a big falling out since the whole lawsuit thing.
So I thought that was kind of funny, but it was a really good documentary. Like, it was short, probably 20 minutes, something like that.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Okay. So definitely go check that out. It's really, really good, and it made me think, like, we have a friend who basically had the Pro Wrestling Tees idea before Pro Wrestling Tees, and he didn't follow through with the idea. And that's one of the things like Colt was talking about, was saying that, you know, anytime you find somebody like a gear maker or a t-shirt maker or whatever, and you try to bring them business, and they get business, instead of growing, they get overwhelmed and they just shut down.
Yep.
And he said, like, the guy at one of our tees, I think his name is Ryan, he said he saw it as an opportunity to grow, not an opportunity to get overwhelmed. So what he do? He hired an employee. He got another printer. Like, you know, he grew his business, and it's become Pro Wrestling Tees, where most people go, oh, I got a lot of stuff to do, I just won't do it.
Well, a lot of people don't have the money to start it to begin with. That's a lot of the problem. I know a bunch of people with good ideas,
right,
they don't have the damn money.
But I just thought it was funny, like, you know, like that basic idea could have almost started in Mississippi.
True.
Like, and it was just things didn't fall in line, you know. But just really cool that that documentary could have been about a company in Mississippi, you know.
Woulda, shoulda.
But it didn't, you know. But it is still a cool documentary. Definitely recommend it. Can't recommend it enough. It was well done, and it's just really neat to see kind of behind the scenes of how Pro Wrestling Tees, you know, basically was started and continues to grow now. So,
Did you want to talk about the Sandman deal, since that just happened?
Yeah. So,
and give your opinion. I'll give mine.
Jordan Grace, who, you know, some people know from Impact, Chikara. She's been in Mississippi, you know, young in her career. But she put out a tweet saying, you know, Sandman came up and said that, you know, 4 women main eventing shouldn't be right or whatever. I don't know.
They should never main event 4 women should never main event a wrestling pay-per-view or any event, period.
Yeah. And
any wrestler worth their whatever would agree with me.
Right.
And he said that in front of 4 different women, and in the end, Blanchard goes out and cuts a promo on him and says, this old drunk ECW guy that used to hold a beer, I don't think she ever says his name.
Right.
But says, you know, we should never be in the main event, and you can find the video. Go look it up.
I'll have to check that out.
And it's Tessa Blanchard talking about it, and all the girls are in there. I mean, I don't agree with that, and I know I crap on some women wrestling, but if it's good, I put over a lot of wrestling.
That was about to be my comment. Like, do I agree with him when it's not women that are on their...
Like, if that MLW match would have been in the main event last week, I would have crapped all over it, and just like that. But I put over the Impact match the other week, and I loved that match. I thought it was great. If you got
women out there working hard and delivering a main event caliber match, then absolutely. I mean, I don't think Ross Von Erich should have been in the main event. No. You know, like, I don't have nothing against the guy. He wasn't the guy to be there, you know.
I don't think Fatu could carry him through the match. It was a little too long, and there's a lot of it. And,
I mean, I think Fatu is the perfect guy for their champion.
Yes.
But you got to give him people to work with.
When you need 25 minutes, that wasn't the right people.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
But, yeah, so I definitely don't think this, you know, I think Sandman probably had one too many Budweisers. And, you know, they say that, you know, alcohol brings out the truth in people. So I'm sure he felt that way. Feeling that way and saying it is 2 different things. Well, you know, I don't think he would have said it, you know, and I don't know the guy, so hell, he may wouldn't have said it. But, you know, a lot of times you think stuff you won't say, and sometimes you say stuff you wish you didn't say.
Sometimes you well endowed with some beer, you'll say a lot of stuff.
But I don't think this will affect Sandman at all.
It ain't gonna make him look good.
It won't make him look good, but it's not gonna affect his bookings. It's not gonna
sure he'll come out with some apology coming up.
Hey, I was drunk. My bad. And once you say I was drunk, everybody is like, "Oh, okay, it's okay." As long as he was drunk.
He may turn around and say, "Look, I just said it in haste. I was just joking around." And he may have been, because a lot of the wrestlers, we bullshit and joke around with each other like that. I chased one guy with a frog. Yeah. You know, I mean, you'd be surprised who that was. But anyway.
But yes, I mean, we don't know the intent, but at the same time, you know, when you say something, you gotta stick with it. So,
I mean,
I definitely don't agree with it. I definitely think women can main event, anything, whatever. You know, I mean, they've proven that with WrestleMania. You know,
but sometimes it's got to be specific women. You can't just throw anybody and everybody in.
I mean, that's the same way. It's got to be specific wrestlers. You take man, woman, child,
midgets,
anybody. Whatever. Like, if you're not in a deserving spot, you shouldn't be there, no matter what.
They're fixing to do Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan for the belt.
And she should win.
I don't know if that's going to happen. But
I don't know if it will, but
I want to see the match. I do want to see it. I just saw a match where O'Shea Edwards was doing an intergender match.
And you know,
it was just a clip.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
All I saw was a clip too. But what I saw looked good.
It was a big old guy.
Yeah.
She was trading blows with him too.
Yep.
So,
but yeah, I mean, I think anything can. I don't know. I think he just maybe just put his foot in his mouth.
I think he got it all the way up to his ass. So, I mean, I wish he wouldn't have said it, because he's really been one of those guys. Anytime you saw a shoot interview, he just looks like he's being honest. He never looks like one of those guys that would just lie to you. But that may be his opinion.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, honest to God. And
just because it's his opinion, don't make it wrong.
No, it don't mean it's wrong.
You may not agree with
everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own lifestyle. You don't got to agree with everything anybody says.
Right.
And he may have just been saying that to him, just screwing with them. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. Us wrestlers do jab at each other all the time. It's called, pranking each other or ribbing each other.
But who knows? I mean, but yeah, it's definitely out there. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see the Tessa Blanchard promo. So I think that'd be good.
Online. It's on
and if
YouTube.
nothing else, a comment like that does help the females out, because it's going to rally people behind them. Those women probably sold more shirts that night, the night the tweet got out or whatever, so it's good business to be hated sometimes. It's good business to be loved, so don't look at it like it's a negative. Look at it as a positive, like make the most of it, prove him wrong.
I think AEW dropped the ball with Kong. You know where they had her debut match? In the damn YouTube
the
channel.
Battle Royal. Oh, really?
Yeah, she fought the librarian on the YouTube channel, and it was a short match. But I'm like, why didn't y'all put that on regular TV? Because a lot of people love to watch Kong.
AEW does a lot of stuff. I
really don't get that.
I mean, I like AEW. I support AEW just like I support as much as I support WWE, but it's just one of those things, man. Like wrestling in 2020 wrestling scares me.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous myself.
So, I mean, I don't know where we're going, but I said this before, I'll say it again. I think we're getting to the point where, it's no longer wrestling and it's no longer sports entertainment. It's just entertainment. And once you take the sport and the wrestling out of it, I think you're just going to have a bunch of nothing.
Well, I was going to bring this up, too. I don't even know if you know about this. You know about Jericho getting a wine called a little bit of the bubbly?
No.
But he has his own wine thing now, and like over a 2-day period, he sold like something like 10,000 bottles of wine already. And I'm like, these are probably people that have never bought wine in their life, but just because it's Chris Jericho and now buying wine.
My father-in-law smokes cigars, and so Cody Rhodes has his own cigar line.
I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
it's called like Nightmare Cigars or something.
Really?
So I was like, you know what, that'd be kind of cool. Like, I'm wrestling's my thing, so I'm like, he wouldn't know what it was, but I'd know and I'd be support Cody. So I go to look it up, I'm like, $100 for the cheap one? Hey, sorry Cody, I can't afford yours. So I went to like the local
place. So it was a
place.
nightmare price for you.
Yeah, I went to like the local little like cigar shop. I'm like, y'all got some $10 cigars? Like, priced me right out. So Jericho's wine maybe the same way.
I don't know how it is, but I just saw like he was even surprised how much it sold.
Yeah, but Roddy Piper has bubblegum flavored soda.
I've never had any, but I have seen pictures of it.
There's a candy store at the outlet mall that has it.
Really?
It's like, dang, $6 a bottle. But I'm going to get me a bottle because I can afford $6, not 100. No, sorry, Cody. So, but yeah, so hey, here's the cool thing. If you know of any other people that have things like soda or cigars or wine or whatever that are wrestling that's kind of obscure, maybe throw that in a comment and maybe we can check it out. And if it's not something crazy, maybe we can round one or two of them up and do a little review or whatever.
When I think about stuff like that, I always think of the George Foreman grill because it was offered to Hogan.
Yeah.
And Hogan chose a blender like this big over it. And Foreman took the Foreman grill and made millions and millions.
But now here's
of
the thing. It may have not have made that much money if it had been on Hogan. You never know.
That was one of the best cooking ideas ever, though, was the George Foreman grill.
But it was all how it was marketed, too. Like, Foreman took that stuff under... He grabbed the ball and ran with it where, Hogan might not have been, on freaking late night TV selling Hogan grills, true. But Foreman was, you know, he was at malls like doing demonstrations and everything else. Like,
I read that on him several times in several interviews where he's like, I walked right past it.
Yep.
He's like, and I chose the blender.
But I mean, you know, had he got behind the blender like Foreman got behind the grill, you might have been talking about this.
It's possible.
You know. But hey guys, we're about to hear some loudness. So next time, until then,
Watch wrestling.
watch wrestling.